Let us dive straight into today's tea. Unte? Un cornetto. I'm learning Italian these days, so I think I need to learn my intro in Italian. But anyway, that being said, let us talk about everything that's going down with Mr. Don Lemon, because even yesterday he was still at it, still going after Nicki Minaj, and I'm like, she's not the only Republican out there. There are a lot of Republicans that you guys won't dare call out, but when you start dogpiling on a black woman, it makes me question the essence of the democracy that you claim to represent. Because after all has been said and done, everybody is entitled to their own choice. Okay, I personally, like I said, forever will be a Democrat. I do feel like their policies make sense. But at the same time, this woman has got the right to choose whatever she wants to. Day in, day out, it cannot be a conversation of forcing her to belong to a certain party because, well, she's an immigrant and oh, she's a black woman. So it defeats the entire essence of what democracy means. So it's rather corny to see these people doing all of these things. If anything, it just shows the hypocrisy that is within the party, which makes me sad because why are you making this party look so bad? I was having a conversation with someone in the previous video that I posted, and I said, I don't understand why they're doing this. Whoever is behind that official Democrats account, are you sure it's not a setup? Because there's no way somebody who's still looking forward to winning over people is tweeting and moving that way. Like, what are you even doing? But anyway, that being said, it is news is coming in that, well, I guess soon after he was trolling Nicki Minaj on his platform, well, the cops came in for him. I wish I could say I feel bad for him, but I mean, we all saw this coming. Anyway, it is actually being reported that while the former employee of CNN was arrested last night, three sources with direct knowledge told CBS News. And a source familiar says a grand jury was impaneled on this yesterday. FBI and HSI were involved in the arrest, sources say. And allegedly, it wasn't clear what the charges were. And I'm just looking at this and I'm like, Harvey, where are you? Because we saw you. I'm talking about Harvey from TMZ. These are the people that should be rallying in arms together to fight for this man. Because TMZ was pushing him to do things that they won't even do, things that them and their reporters won't even dare to do. That's what they were, egging him on to do. So sometimes you really have to pay attention to who is giving you all these wings. Are they flying themselves? Okay? If they are not flying, then what makes you think that they're going to be able to help you or protect you when it comes to accountability, when the time comes for you to answer for your ex? Instead of these guys, especially the likes of Harvey, look at me like emphasizing, but this is the reality of it. They've been in the industry for a very long time. They've managed to build a platform. Whether it's an ethical platform or not is another story, but for the longest of time, their platform has been one of the platforms that has been really prominent in as far as pop culture is concerned. They know the ins and outs, they know the rules. Instead of them sitting him down, if they truly cared about him and saying, mate, we think you probably overdid this, the right way to go about it is maybe to issue an apology to the Christian community and try and make it seem like you could have given him that advice. Instead of doing that, they were egging him on, and he was coming online, acting like he's untouchable, acting like he doesn't care. Oh my god, this and that. And honestly, it's sad. Not in the sense that I feel bad for him, but we've seen this play out over and over again, not just when it comes to journalists, but even when it comes to, some artists, okay, some entertainers. They fall in this trap of wanting clout and thinking that all recognition means people really truly care for them. Meanwhile, Harvey is out there chasing a viral moment with you. And now he won't be seen anywhere to help you. And now you're missing the so-called Grammy coverage that you were awarded with. You remember how we spoke about how he was given access to, interview people at the red carpet? Courtesy of the execs, obviously, thanking him for the job, of continuously dragging Nicki Minaj, because you cannot see that that's not authentic. Like, it's not that deep. Out of everybody that was calling him out, it's Nicki that, he was focused on. The same way that the Democrats account is focused on her. The same way that the industry is focused on her. Meanwhile, many entertainers are out there supporting, the current administration. So it just goes to show you that everything is intertwined. And now, because of your loud mouth, you're missing the very reward that you got from doing what you did. Double edged side. But anyway, it seems like his team is also vowing that they will take care of it, which I don't doubt. I do feel like even though he might have reworded, that community, the Christian community, I really don't think that whatever they're going to charge him with is going to be enough for him to not be granted bail. I highly doubt that. In as much as he's not my cup of tea, I'm not the one to be delusional. So I really don't think that it's a matter of him not being able to get bail. I feel like he's going to get bail. Maybe he will be fined, maybe it's not even going to be that deep. But his lawyer, allegedly said that, well, and I quote, Don Lemon was taken into custody by federal agents last night in LA, where he was covering the Grammy Awards. Don has been a journalist for 30 years, and his constitutionally protected work in Minneapolis was no different than what he has always done. This unprecedented attack on the First Amendment and transparent attempt to distract attention from the many crises facing this administration will not stand. Don will fight these charges vigorously and thoroughly in court. Mr. Lemon is scheduled to appear in federal court in LA on Friday morning, meaning today. So I guess as the day goes, we will get an update. But like I said, I do believe they will grant him bail. The Babs, on the other hand, are absolutely celebrating. And they're like, this is the Onika voodoo that we always talk about, okay? F around and find out. And also the fact that Nicki was calling him out and basically saying he should be arrested. And he tried to say, you're out of your depth, oh my God, and all of these things. And then only for him to turn around and realize that he actually is the one who was out of his depth, okay? That being said, you guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about everything that's going on. Is this the Onika voodoo that you guys always talk about? And I'm just curious to know when he was arrested. Was it after he was done trolling Nicki Minaj? Because I remember yesterday scrolling on Twitter, no, on Instagram, and I saw him speaking about Nicki Minaj and the premiere, or was it Nicki Minaj? And of course the Trump fans. I don't remember, but he was saying something about Nicki Minaj. But because he annoys me, I never really bothered to actually click. So yeah, it's interesting. Speaking of him and Nicki Minaj, when you when you get into this and you're sad at how people treat this woman, and sometimes when she tweets and you see people twisting her words, and sometimes you're wishing, I wish she wouldn't say anything about certain things, because you're thinking whatever these people are doing twisting her words is getting to her. And then you turn around and you realize that it's all fun and games for her. At this point, I don't think she takes anything seriously, because when she was asked, well, there's a teaser for the podcast that's coming, for the episode that's coming on Tuesday with Katie Miller. There's a teaser that she posted. And, Katie was basically asking her about the Don Lemon incident and how she feels about him trying to say that she's H-phobic. And guess what she did? She laughed. She laughed. She laughed, and she doubled down and she said, "See, Saka, stop." At this point, I'm just like, what if we get bothered by what all these people say about her and how she twists the words, and she really doesn't care? Because I remember when people were trying to say, look, Nikki, they're twisting your words. She said, well, I intentionally tweeted like that because I knew that it wasn't going to get enough coverage. They were just going to sweep it under the rug, ridiculous acts of, obviously storming into the church. So I did that intentionally. That's the only way they were going to post it. I cannot with this girl. She was laughing. She was literally laughing, and I was like, oh my god, this girl is stressing me out at this point. That reminds me of that time where she would drag Jay-Z and then put hashtags of her tour, and she would be like, sold out Minaj. And the blogs, because they can't miss a Nicki tweet for their own engagement, they were forced to post about her sold out tour. And I'm like, very calculated, very smart. I like that. But anyway, let me know, you guys, are you looking forward to watching that podcast episode? Personally, I am, because one thing about conversations with her is, like I always say, they're intellectual, they are engaging, they're not stupid, okay? She's not trying to sound funny with baby talk and all of these things. It's literally a grown up conversation that you can follow. And, I love that. I remember the interview that she did with, what's her name? Jada. She's the one who was actually interviewing her, but it was beautiful. The next thing that we're going to be talking about, let us talk about, the Banasian, as Wendy Williams would say, well, it's being alleged that Legacy Media was banned. Okay, they were not invited for the premiere of, Melania, and it seems like they're not happy with that. But personally, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because these people have kind of been shady. It is not difficult to see that they are biased, towards just one political party, towards certain celebrities and stuff like that. So, Variety is reporting, and I quote, reporters from mainstream outlets, including the New York Times, the Washington Post, AP, and Vanity Fair, were not granted tickets to tonight's screening of Melania at the Trump Kennedy Center. So I don't know, you guys. What do you think about them banning these guys? Do you think that as media, they are obligated to be unbiased and to cover both parties, I mean, political parties, with the same level of fairness? Or do you think that, well, some of Trump's policies are ridiculous to the point where even if you don't want to be biased, you end up just being biased? Let me know in the comment section what you think about that. That being said, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. Nicki Minaj, let's still talk about that. I forgot to mention this in my video earlier on, and it is the fact that Nicki Minaj and Amber Rose are allegedly invited to Alex's wedding. So, Babs are excited. They are waiting or expecting yet another look from Nicki Minaj for the wedding. Do you guys think that she's going to be attending? It only says that they have been invited and they've been placed. They're going to be sitting at the same table, but there is no confirmation from Nikki as yet that she's actually going to be in attendance. And I don't know, you guys. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. As for Alex, oh my God, it seems like he has just decided to turn into a bab. Do I think that, well, he's being genuine with the support? Do I think that it's truly love? No, absolutely not. I mean, in as much as I appreciate that they are protecting Nicki Minaj and giving her the protection that obviously, the Democrats couldn't. I really don't. I'm not delusional enough to be thinking that these men genuinely care for the babs. No, they literally saw the impact that Nicki Minaj has and how much her attendance of the Trump account was able to shake up the internet. And guess what? They are now maximizing on that. They want the attention. They saw how much power and influence she commands, in as far as the media is concerned. And I do feel like they're harvesting that. But am I mad at them for harvesting that? Absolutely not. This is politics. Even on the other side, that's exactly how it goes. What can you do for me? This. Oh, I can do this for you in return. Because when I tell you Alex has been wilding out on the internet defending Nicki Minaj, I am not playing, okay? From calling out the Democrats' official account to calling out the governors that were playing on Nicki's top to basically saying, oh, you Babs, I love you, I salute you. I was like, wow, welcome, Secretary Bob. But don't get it twisted, you guys. These guys are obviously extremely doing it because they found a loophole, and the Democrats, instead of maximizing this loophole and at least trying to cover your behinds and not show people that you're this biased, instead of doing this for the party, what are you doing? Chasing people away. I saw a comment on the previous video, and somebody was literally saying that, well, I used to be a Democrat, but I am not going to be supporting them because of just how crazy and ridiculous and shameless they are with their bias. So I'm switching on the other side. And to you guys, I have to say that the grass is not greener on the other side. Nikki is doing it for her personal reasons. We all saw what was happening to her, but it doesn't mean that we have to change, okay? Because trust me, it isn't greener. The grass isn't greener on the other side. But that being said, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. But at the end of the day, if you've always been a Republican, please, by all means, do your thing. If you've always been a Democrat, by all means, do your thing. I'm not telling anyone to, I'm not going to be the one cussing you out saying, why are you a Democrat or why are you a Republican? Nah, that's not my thing. We can coexist in the same space without subscribing to the same political affiliations, just as we can coexist without belonging to the same religion. That's basically how I feel right here. And if you're one of those people who are radical, that, well, if you don't support this person, then if people who support that person, you cannot be friends with that. I'm sorry, like, does it mean, so you're meaning to tell me that even at your workplace, your co-workers, you guys support the same people? It's like people, it's like soccer fans saying that they will not be supported playing with people who support Manchester. It's ridiculous at this point. And it said that instead of using this moment as a way to win more people, the Democrats are allowing the Republicans to play on their top like this. Because when I tell you they're overdoing it, they're literally overdoing it. They're making up for the gap. And slowly I'm seeing a lot of people really changing and jumping ship, which is rather sad. And all because of what? Because you want to insert yourself in some entertainment drama, because you want to turn into a stand page. What is this? Like, who's going to be taking you seriously, like when you try to run for the next team? And the the guys from the other side are very sleek. My God, you see their talking points. You like listen to them and you're like, wow, they're making a lot of sense. Hey, you can tell that before they tweet or highlight anything, it's very intentional, it's very calculated. Meanwhile, the Democrats are all emotional, like very emotional, emotions all over the place, emotion over policy, emotions over strategy. And I feel like, to be honest, I feel like that's part of the reason why things went the way they went the last time, because they thought they were banking on people voting emotionally. They were banking on emotional voters so much. And that is not the smartest things to do because emotions are dynamic, they change, and you can't bank on that. I don't understand. It's like I want to go and, talk to whoever is behind that account because what are you doing to the party? Why are you not playing chess? Can't you see these guys are playing chess with the people? Why can't you do the same? Huh? Of all people that you could have used as a get back at Nicki Minaj, you decided to use at Vovo BBL? Really? I mean, I'm disappointed, man. But anyway, let's move on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about. You know what? Actually, I do see that my video is now on 20 minutes. Let me not make this extra long because you know me, I love to talk. I'm just going to be talking and talking. I did see one of you commenting. I saw your comment. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't respond on there, but about somebody who was suggesting that we do a podcast. And I really did try to do that, but the problem is I get so busy, you guys, and I would hate to start something that I wouldn't be able to be consistent with. But if I do get help, if I get help, maybe with this channel, if my nephew is able to help me with this channel, maybe we can do a podcast once a week. Where do you think we should have the podcast? Do you think we should do it on Spotify? Where exactly do you think we should be doing it? And tell me if you're also interested, if you think that's something that would interest you. Would you like to listen to this voice for an hour? Or are you like, Tip, like, please, we cannot be Wakandering for an hour. I'm open to everything, okay? If this is too much Wakanda for you to listen for the entire hour, I would absolutely understand that. Or maybe we could do something where, you guys could call in and, we would converse and stuff like that. Okay, let me know in the comment section what you think about this proposal from this person. Until my next one, see you. Don't